The WHO, baby. We're deep in it today. I'm not really a Dr. Tedros. He's the guy who said we need to go around the world telling people what to do. We need to combine our governments with the WHO advice. You know, they're wrong about everything, but we need to combine our government with them. Now he's going after two things. He's going after your meats, and he's going after the climate change, which we know. The idea that the World Health Organization can be this place where they just give you all the advice in the world. It's the same as the World Economic Forum, right? And the EU. These people that weren't elected to govern you is a conglomerate of rich people, business owners, multinational corporations, and really just psychopaths who have no business being in charge of anyone besides the fact that they just want to control everything. They get together and they become these global thought leaders. Like, we're no longer the World Health Organization focusing on health. We're no longer the UN focusing on, humanitarian aid and genocides and everything. And we're no longer the World Economic Forum focusing on economics. We're just going to become this center where you can believe everything. We're your life coach now. Dr. Tedros Klaus Schwab. We're going to teach you how to eat. We're going to tell you how to control your air conditioning. And we're going to teach you about the climate. So that's what Dr. Tedros is here to tell you right now, that we're going to, if you stop eating meat and, you just switch to plant-based diets, you're going to be just great.
Our food systems are harming the health of people and planet. Food systems contribute to over 30% of greenhouse gas emissions and account for almost 1/3 of the global burden of disease.
How do you know that? How do you know our foods, what does the food system do related to the climate to cause diseases? How do you say those things in the same sentence? Unless you're just about to, listen to what he says.
Forming food systems is therefore essential. By shifting towards healthier, diversified, and more plant-based diets. If food systems delivered healthy diets for all, we could save 8 million lives per year. WHO is committed to supporting countries to develop and implement policies to improve diets and fight climate change. I'm therefore very pleased that over 130 countries have signed the COP28 UAE Declaration on Climate and Health. Together, we can protect and promote the health of both people and planet.
Wide Awake Media, everybody. Change your way of eating, and not only will you get rid of your diseases, you'll also help the climate. It's perfect. It's perfect. Just stop eating meat. Just stop doing things that we want to do. Just stop flying your planes. To mention diseases and the climate in the same sentence, it's just they're trying to get everything in there. It's like when they combine, reproductive rights, transgender rights, climate change. It all just goes under this one umbrella of do whatever we tell you. So changing our food systems into plant-based diets is not only going to save your life and cure diseases, but also end climate change, whatever that means. All wrong, right? All wrong. You have two examples of good vegans. That's the Diaz brothers. The rest nobody cares about. They look withered away. They look tired. And, people are eating meat in front of the restaurants to mock them. That's what we think of when you think of vegans. Weird protesters, maybe. Skinny, scrawny guys. But the claim, right, that plant-based diet is good is better for everything. That's just not true. That's the thing about these guys. We talked about Fauci earlier, talking about Tedros. They just say things. It's because it sounds like it's true. All three things we talked about today have so far been people saying things, and then it sounds like it's true, so just run with it. When they do soy farms, or they grow almonds, or any number of these plant-based diets that are pushed, right, for almond milk, that example is for. First of all, you get way less in a yield. The yields are less frequent. And the place where you grow the crops is substantially more damaged and you have to leave it for a much longer time. Whereas you can continuously have cows in an area, which is the main source, right? They say the cow farts, the cow burps, the meat is cruel, you're stealing the mother's milk. The cow mother's milk is for the baby cow, not for you. Significantly more beneficial to the environment in that way. And then you go to the diet. So completely full of it when it comes to how much better it is for the environment to grow things that are traditionally believed to be the replacement for beef, right? Then you go to the diet thing. Red meat is the easiest way to get protein for your body. Fact. Yeah, you can go and combine other things. Yeah, you can get vegetable proteins. Yeah, you can get proteins from nuts. Much more fat. Got to eat a lot more of it. The red meat's the easiest way to go. And if you want to argue that veganism works for some people and makes some people healthier, go ahead. Eating only meat works for some people. What do you think the Peterson family's been doing? Scarfing down steaks. The carnivore diet, I believe it's called. Scarfing down steaks. Joe Rogan's throwing discs of elk meat at you. They're pegging you in the head, breaking your nose. What are you doing? That's my Jordan Peterson. Joe Rogan, stop throwing... It's getting really into Kermit. Joe Rogan, stop throwing elk meat at my head. The young boys. I shouldn't do that. That's the best you're getting for a Jordan Peterson impression. But it's the easiest way for your body to process and get protein. And we just have to pretend like this isn't true. We have to pretend like nobody hates vegans. We have to pretend like anybody actually cares about climate change. They don't. There's teenagers and then there's adult women with blue hair and seniors that feel guilty that they have a pension and a home. Those are the only people. They're gluing their faces to the road. They're going in there. Have you seen this? The Just Stop Oil people and all these other people. They're putting dust in the air like fairy dust. They prance out onto the field and then they have a satchel of orange pixie dust and they're... Oh... I've ruined your event. I've ruined your cricket event. You shall never play here again. And then the Brits were so offended by orange paint being on their field. It took like a minute to clean up in most cases. I've thrown different colored chalk on your billiards board as opposed to the regular blue chalk. This chalk is orange. You'll certainly be changing your mind now, won't you, lesbian billiard players? It's all pretend. And it's pretend to them, too. I want you guys to know that. In case you're sitting there and you're just like, this is depressing. This is, what's happening with the world. It's very fragile. These people's power are very fragile. All it takes is a firing of Fauci. Yeah, he's made his money. He's going to be fine. But all it takes is a firing of Fauci, and no one ever cares about him again. CNN will hoist him up. But, directly speaking... direct influence in the government, maybe it's through the people, but who's going to care when Dr. Tedros is gone? It's not going to be him. It's going to be like Dr. Steven Seagal. Come and cut my heart out. You got a problem? He's going to be fat. He's going to be kicking people in the stomach about climate change. That's the only difference it would make. Nobody's going to pay attention to them. If it's not Klaus Schwab, do you think people are going to care about Klaus Schwab if he gets replaced by Scott Evil from Austin Powers? Seth Green goes in there and now he's the WF leader. Nobody actually cares about who they are. It's the message that they're delivering. They are, a parrot of a particular message. Dr. Tedros, can we point to anything he's actually done? Does he go around and say, do this, do that? No, he's a businessman. He's an appointed businessman who they probably have, some sort of weird video of him eating licorice naked or around a campfire. Something like that we won't get suspended for saying. That's who these people are. They completely make it up as they go along.
Turn it up, Jordan.